Hello and welcome to Adam's Apples with me, Adam Carruthers. No, this has nothing to do with this. It is a little segment, part of Geektopia, which you can see the logo above my head, where I can create a list of my favorite things, my least favorite things, good, bad, but it will always revolve around movies, TV shows, comic books, video games, anything that falls under the jurisdiction of Geektopia. Simple enough, right? So today's one is all about movies. The top movies which I'm looking forward to in the calendar year of 2021. So, grab your popcorn. I'm dieting, so I can't. And let's start. Before I start, I have to give a little disclaimer. At time of recording, all these movies are slated to be released in 2021, but as we saw throughout the whole of 2020, a lot of films were delayed, like Wonder Woman. Delayed. So it could change. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that it doesn't, that all these movies do meet their release schedule, because I do love my movies. So, what is the first movie on my list? It's Spider-Man 3. Doesn't have an official title yet, but okay. It might get a little bit complex. I'm also anticipating the Doctor Strange movie because it's got the multiverse name in its title. If you know comics, the multiverse allows you to bring in different sort of versions of the same hero into one place. And I'm sure it's going to time into Spider-Man 3. But why am I picking Spider-Man 3? Because it looks like we're going to get Tobey Maguire. We're going to get Andrew Garfield. We're going to get Tom Holland, obviously. We might even get something like Emma Stone. Now, she could play Gwen Stacy, but she could also play Spider-Gwen. And if you've watched the Spider-Man animated movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, or read the comics. There's a lot to be excited about. How many Spider-Men can you fit into one movie? What about the past villains? We're getting news that Doc Ock might be reappearing, Jamie Foxx, all of that. It's going to be madness, I tell you. Absolute madness. Can't wait to see it in the cinema. Or home. Depends. Next up on my list. I know my singing is terrible. It's fine. Deal with it. But I'm sure you recognize that theme song. Oh yeah, James Bond, No Time to Die. Daniel Craig's swan song, his final Bond movie. I think he's been pretty good. I mean, Brosnan was getting a little bit old and his films were getting a bit OTT. Remember when he out on the car, the invisible car on the ice? No. So I've kind of enjoyed some of the Daniel Craig films. Skyfall for me is probably the benchmark. Casino Royale was pretty good as well. I'm hoping No Time to Die will fit into that category as opposed to some of the other Daniel Craig James Bond movies. But what's going to happen? Is he going to die in the end? Are they going to change the idea of James Bond just being a name given to somebody as opposed to that being the actual name? There's a lot to look forward to. A lot of ideas being thrown around on the internet has got me excited about this movie, and it's already been delayed from last year. So let's hope everything goes to plan for this year. Okay, so next up on the list, it's one which kind of goes back to my childhood. This came out decades ago, the original Top Gun movie, but I loved it. That opening scene where the planes are taking off, the music, highway to the danger zone. I'm singing quite a bit today, but yeah, when they announced Top Gun 2 Maverick, I was like, alright. And then the trailer dropped, and I was blown away. That was... what? And then, of course, it would be awesome. I mean, Tom Cruise tries to do all of his own stunts. He flew a helicopter in the last Mission Impossible movie. That's him. He has a license. Now, I read somewhere that this new Top Gun movie, the Air Force will not allow him to pilot himself in one of the jets, at least, because of the price and all of that. But maybe he can do some other flying in the movie. However, make no doubt, even if he's not piloting, it looks like he's really in that plane. The trailer has a bit right at the start where he takes off. He shudders in there. That is just so real. The airplanes in it are just, wow, crazy. I mean, maybe the storyline's not going to be great, but I think as a visual spectacle, the movie's going to blow my mind. Yeah, for sure. Top Gun Maverick. Next up, I got to throw in another Marvel movie because 2020 had zero content from Marvel in the cinemas because of the restrictions in place. Fair enough. So this year, there's an overdose of Marvel from TV shows and movies and more. It's a pretty awesome time to be alive if you're a Marvel fan. So what is on my list? Black Widow. Yeah, I've always liked her character. She doesn't have any special powers, none of that. She's just a kick-ass assassin, a kick-ass fighter, a kick-ass character. And I can't wait to see her character given some closure as well. Plus, it's got Hopper from Stranger Things in it, which is always something to look forward to. Can't believe, like, Scarlett Johansson, she's basically grown up in front of our eyes. I think she made her film debut in a movie called North in, like, the mid-90s. She was in The Horse Whisperer, Ghost World, Lost in Translation. Now she's a Black Widow. She's a global icon. The less we say about Ghost in the Shell, the better. But yeah, Black Widow. Thumbs up. So we're almost at the end of my list, and I just want to stress these have been in no particular order. It's just a top 5 and not ranked in any way whatsoever. But before I unveil my final pick, just a couple of honorable mentions. Coming to America 2. Love the first movie. One of the funniest movies of all time. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall playing their characters and all the other characters in the movie. And that song, the commercial one.
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through.
Should have released that as a single because it was so catchy. The other one, which I'm going to mention, Ghostbusters. Yeah, I am looking forward to the new Ghostbusters movie. The first two were amazing. They had this really cool video game which reunited the original cast, but as voice actors. It was written by them. It was a proper sequel to Ghostbusters. Then we had that travesty which dropped about 5 years ago. Let's just ignore that one and look forward to this new one because the returning cast members should make it exciting enough for me to be like, oh, yeah, Ghostbusters. Enough of that. Let's get on to the final entry on my list. If I do this. Okay, I'm trying to lean back, but I can't in a chair. I'm trying to be like Neo when he's dodging the bullets in The Matrix. Yeah, you guessed it. The Matrix 4. So when Bill and Ted was announced, the new movie, or not new, but the last one, which came out in 2020, I was like, really? I watched it. I was like, oh, this isn't bad. This is pretty good. So that got me kind of excited to see Keanu Reeves return to an old character. Neo. I mean, I thought everything was kind of wrapped up with a little bow on top following the last one, the third Matrix movie, but apparently there are more stories to be told. So I say bring it. I remember the movies, the first one being amazing. It was groundbreaking. The action, the way they did the slow-mo things, which everybody copied after that. And this was back like, I think it was 1999, right before the turn of the century. I mean, can't stress how amazing it was to see it. And the fashion, everyone wearing their sunglasses. Morpheus had the clip-on ones. And I would see everybody overseas wearing long trench coats, like trying to be like Neo. I'm hoping they bring that fashion back for the new movie. More Neo, Trinity, Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, the Wachowskis. It's going to be... Actually, I don't know if it's going to be awesome. I'm just hoping it's going to be awesome. Same as you, probably. That wraps up my list of the top movies for 2021. Adam's Apples done for the day. Make sure you subscribe to Geektopia. That's the channel name. I'll be delivering more Adam's Apples in the future. Make sure you share the video and make sure you leave a comment as well to tell me what you think. This is Adam, signing out.